Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another IdleMMO video. Just another update for you guys on what I'm up to on my characters at the moment. We're also going to be looking over some of the recent patch notes as well, because there's a few interesting things. And we're going to have a look at the market as well, because a lot of the materials from combat are crazy in terms of prices. So yeah, we've got a few things to go over today. So, what have I been up to? Mainly woodcutting. So, we're still on our journey to level 100 woodcutting. So, we're currently level 92. Hit that a couple of days ago. And I think it's level 93 is halfway. Just before level 93 is halfway to level 100. So, we've still got a long way to go, even though it only is 8 levels left. We've still got a long grind. I've done a little bit of alchemy as well. I've been crafting up the essences, Yggdrasil essences, for wood cutting. So a couple of days ago I bought up a load of goblin crowns and bone fragments. So I've done a few hours of alchemy here and there as well, just to use the potions along the way. So right now we're sitting at 42k mahogany logs, and we've now moved on to mystic logs. We're at 15k of those. I don't think I'm going to sell them anytime soon. I might end up using them for forging, or I might hold them until we get any news on the housing update, which we might get in the future. So for now I'm just holding on to the logs, because I don't really need the gold. I think the other day I calculated I've got about 7 mil gold sort of total at the moment between my 3 characters. So we'll be sorted for the Christmas event, buying the Christmas event item. And other than that, there isn't really anything that I need to buy at the moment. So I'm always on the lookout for good offers in the market, so I've got a decent chunk of gold just in case something comes up that I suddenly need. On my 2 alts, we have moved on to combat. I'm currently raiding on this one at the moment, but I've been doing a lot of combat now. So my base stats are getting a little bit higher. So this is my first ult: 83 strength, 70 defense, 64 speed, 60 dexterity. I've actually kitted this guy out in decent gear. So I haven't fully upgraded my weapon and my chest piece yet. Everything else is fully upgraded. We've got a Bloodforged helm, which is level 87. Phoenix Claw gauntlets, level 87. Ironbark cuirass, level 70. 73 gloves and 71 boots. So in terms of stats on this guy for combat, this is good. This is really good. I'm actually doing Eldoria at the moment on this character, and then on my other character, again, we're just doing lots of combat. I'm in Whispering Woods. So these 2 areas are actually very good gold. To be fair, all the areas that I've done so far are similar in profit per hour. But obviously doing the lower ones, you don't need to use as much food, but then the trade-off is that you don't get very much experience. If I was still in Crystal Caverns or Skyreach Peak, I'd be getting a lot more XP and sort of similar gold. So yeah, at the moment I'm just sat at Eldoria and Whispering Woods, and we're making a decent amount, to be fair. I'm just selling off all the loot as I go, pretty much. My stats on this character aren't as good. So 55 strength, 60 defense, 60 speed, and then 88 dexterity because I got 100 fishing. And then my gear on this character, again, is not very good. So running 63 sword, 68 chestplate, and then the rest is just uranium. But if we look at the statistics, when I'm battling, I'm barely taking any damage, and my hit chance and enemy hit chance is low. So as you can see, I get 6 damage taken per hit, and enemy hit chance is 11%. And I one hit these mobs, so I barely take any damage. Now let's go over the market first of all, because honestly some of the material prices are just crazy in value at the moment. Let's just look at the first area, right? The first area is crazy. Goblin scraps, 263. Yesterday these were selling for over 300. Yesterday goblin totems were selling for over 60 each. Goblin pouches are sitting around 100. Goblin crowns are over 2,000 each now. This is half my fault because I bought so many of them a couple of days ago. I think in total I've bought like 300 or 400 now. So I've kind of made the price go up a little bit. But it's just about holding. So I bought most of mine for under 2,000. Now they're now creeping over 2,000. But I'm gonna need a lot more, and obviously there's other people that are buying them as well constantly. So who knows what's gonna happen with the Goblin Crown prices? What's the other one? It's Duck's Mouth. Like before the update, man, these were worth nothing. Literally, they were going for like, I mean, the main one is Goblin Totems, because that's how everyone was training Alchemy. Goblin Totems were sat at 12 gold for such a long time. And now they're like, I mean, this is a low price. Someone's going to buy these up. If we look at the history. The average price so far today is 44. Average price yesterday, 51. Like, they've gone up 4 to 5 times in value minimum. Let's go and have a look at some of the other crafting materials as well. There's a couple of really crazy ones. Let's see if we can find them. Long forgotten necklaces. These have, in the last couple of days, over doubled in price. They were sat at 100 gold for ages. They're now sat at over 200 gold. Swamp juices, 500. Ruined robes. This is another crazy one. 500 gold each. They used to be like 100. We're not even getting to the big ones yet. There's 2 massive ones. Here we go. Venom extract. Over 2,000 gold for a venom extract. These used to be 400 gold each for months. It's actually just a crazy amount. Minotaur hides are still holding their value, which is kind of nice. Parchment, 1,000 gold each. Like, I don't know. I really don't know what to think of this. Like, the combat system, with it being AFK, is... I mean, it's good, but I think everyone is just cooking at the moment. Like, literally, combat update came out, and because all of the cooking values changed, with like how much the vendoring prices for all of the cooked food, literally, like, everyone's just gone to that, and I would love to see some statistics as to how many people are doing battling compared to before the update. Because it just feels like no one's doing it. It really, really feels like no one's doing much combat. And all of the people that are doing combat are all sat at the higher tier zones, like on their mains, just leveling up as fast as possible. Like getting all their core stats up, strength, defense, all of that stuff. It just doesn't feel like anyone's doing the low tier zones at all. Whereas if we look at before the update, before the combat was changed, there were loads of people just sat at Bluebell Hollow, the first area, just farming goblins. There were so many people just sat at Crystal Caverns, farming elephants. There were so many people sat at Skyreach Peak, hardcore farming lions and golems. So I'd love to see if there's actually any statistics or anything. But yeah, at the moment, combat is, or sorry, doing battling is decent gold. It is decent gold still. I mean, before the changes, I was making somewhere between 15 and 20k gold per hour. I would say most of the areas now are sitting around 4 to 5k profit per hour. So it's still decent. But obviously you then need to take into account that you're going to be using food, cooked food as well, depending on which zone you're sitting in. But yeah, combat's, in terms of profit, is in a decent place at the moment. But in terms of alchemy, like training alchemy now, oh, I wouldn't even want to go into detail. I think it's just crazy. So yeah, at the moment, combat is where it's at for me on my 2 characters, 2 alts, and then my main is just sitting up mystic logs for the next like month probably. So let's go over some of the recent patches. I'll get to the shrine tokens in a minute. The big one that happened today is pet battles have been changed slightly, but now scales to your level. So at the beginning of pet mastery, you can only send off 2 pets to go and fight to level up your pet mastery, but then it scales up to 10. Before, it had a fixed value of 5 pets that you could send out at once. So I guess pet mastery leveling has been buffed a little bit, assuming that you have more than 5 pets. So this was an interesting change. Again, I'll get onto this because it's further down. Few fixes, but yeah. So big changes were made to the shrine yesterday. So before this update, whenever the shrine got activated, it would automatically activate for everyone, whereas you can now activate it yourself whenever you want to. So once the goal has been reached, so if we go back here, so once tier 1 gets reached, as in all of the gold has been filled, rather than it automatically activating, there will now be an activate button that comes up just below. And then you press that and you get that tier of the shrine for 3 hours. Let's say all 3 are activated, you would have to click the tier 1, tier 2 and T3 activation, and then you would get all 3. So you can assign exactly when you want your shrine to happen, which is really good in terms of efficiency for everyone, because it was a little bit unfair that when some people were offline, the shrine would get activated and then people would miss out, whereas now everyone should be able to take part in shrines. So that's really, really good. You can also use tokens to contribute to the shrine now, so you've got gold or tokens that you can use. This value's been changed, so yesterday it was 800 gold per token, but they've now nerfed it to 200 gold per token, because this was a little bit too much. They've also, this is a big change, they've added combat experience boost to the shrine. So as well as skill experience, you also get combat experience now. They have changed it, so again, yesterday this worked for dungeons and guild raids, but they've now been taken off, so that won't work anymore. But still a very, very good change. This one seems a bit strange to me. They've got it in their other game, Simple MMO. I don't really know why we needed it in this game as well, but we have now. You can now wave to other players. Doesn't really do anything apart from take up people's notifications. So yeah, bit strange. Bit strange. Now, this one, this is wild. I don't really know where they're going with this. So basically, I can show you now. If you go on to combat or battling, and you find the thing you want to kill, you can now click this. This won't be in the game for very long, but it gives you extra, well, it's called magic find, which gives you more loot basically. I think it pretty much at the moment doubles the loot that you get. No, it doesn't. I don't know exactly how it works. It gives you a bit more loot and basically doubles the experience that you get. Or it scales the mobs to your level, so you gain a little bit more loot and a lot more experience. But you use a shit ton of food. So the only thing this is good for is if you want XP. Other than that, it's not worth doing. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it was 2 weeks that this was going to last for. So, yeah, as it says, you get more loot and more XP. But the loot isn't worth it if you're going for gold. It's only worth it if you're going for XP. But then you spend a lot more gold on cooked food, so it's a massive trade-off. And then the last thing I'll go over today is we now have guild seasons. It's not the best update. It's basically which guild does the most raids in a season, and then their reward is more marks, which it's a bit strange. At least they're trying to do something with guilds. I think we're going to see a lot more guild updates soon, but this one felt a bit random to me, and the rewards are just really pointless as well. Basically, if you win, you get 100 marks, and then you can use those marks to do more raids for your guild. So, if you win the first season, surely you just win the second season. I don't know. Anyway, that's probably enough rambling for one day. I'm sure you guys have heard enough. I was going to get round to making a vendoring video and how to level up your bartering efficiently, but the market is just too crazy right now. Like, nothing is settled in price. So the only thing I would say is if you guys are doing lots of skilling, just if you want to level your bartering, then you sell your cut logs or your fish or your cooked fish, whatever, just sell them to the vendor if you really care about leveling up your bartering. But yeah, I don't know, the market's just in a crazy place at the moment. It might settle at some point, but who knows? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.